Hey going guys, Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. For today's job we're going to be machining up some replacement parts for a D10 equalizer bar. We've got 4 bar ends that have been flame cut out of 120mm high tensile plate. These suit the D10 Dozer series machines. So we have a previous video where we did the bore repair on a D10 equalizer bar, and a lot of people noticed that the 2 bar ends were different. The grease ports were different on either end, and that is because that equalizer bar was often a really early machine, and one of the ends had been replaced with an upgrade with a little bit different of a grease fitting configuration. So 3 of these are going to be finished machine, and the customer's going to keep them as stock. So if they have any issues and need to do a repair out in the field, they have them ready to go. We are going to keep one here because we have a bar here that needs to be repaired. So the first thing I need to do, I need to take them over to the welding area, grind all the mill scale and stuff off them from after they have been flame cut. Once that's done, we're going to take them over and get them set up in the lathe. Righto guys, so we've got our first end set up in the lathe to start the machining. It is a little bit odd shaped, so I did change from my 3-jaw chuck to my 4-jaw gator chuck. This is the perfect situation where you would use a 4-jaw chuck for holding such an odd shaped part. So I did use a big pipe center to hold the eye into the chuck to then go around it and set it up where it's going to be at its most safest point. You really need to think about how you're going to put it in there so you've got as maximum clamping pressure as possible. Here we have 3 jaws that are doing most of the clamping and another one that's just sort of sitting on its edge. So we're just going to take it easy on it. We're not going to try and break any records here. The first thing I need to do, I need to bore the ID. I'm going to bore that to within 1/2 mil of the finished size of the bearing. The reason I do that, if there is any distortion from the welding process, I can then go in with the line borer and just clean that up and take it out to size. I will bore the seal surfaces to their correct size because it's not overly important that they stay round. They are just a seal that gets knocked in the hole. And then after I've finished boring the seals, I can go ahead and put the snap ring grooves in and then flip the job in the machine. The boring bar I'm going to be using is our Moncooler anti-vibe bar. So it's a 50mm diameter. It has interchangeable heads on it. I have changed out the S&MG cartridge to a W&MG because they are a better suited insert for boring the ID of something, and they're quite robust. They'll take that interrupted cut quite well. Righto, so this insert isn't quite working as well as I would have liked it to. It is working a little bit out of its parameters. I'm not going to crank up the RPMs because it's not really safe to do so hanging onto a job like this. I'd rather leave the speed where it is and change the insert to suit the speeds we're running. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to change it out to a very generic general purpose insert and see how that performs. So I've finished machining the first side. I'm not going to go and flip that around now to do the other side. I'd like to get the other 3 ends up to this stage before I go and change the setup of the chuck. It's just going to save a little bit of time in setup rather than double handling the job and resetting the chuck that many times. I only have to change the setup once. A little bit of thinking about what you're doing can save yourself a lot of time in setup. So that's the first side of the 4 bar ends complete. Now I can change my setup, spin them around and complete the other side. So all I need to do on this side, I just need to face them, counterbore them for the seal groove, put some chamfers on there, and that's completed. Right, so all the lathe work for the bar ends is now complete. Now I just need to take them over to the milling machine and finish the final details. We've got our first bar end set up in the milling machine. First thing I need to do is face the top of this area here. We then need to drill 3 holes, tap them to an 1/8 BSP for the grease nipples, and then we need to counterbore them so someone can get a grease gun in there to then grease the bar end once it's been fitted back to an equalizer bar and it's back on the machine. So we need to find center of the job so we can then lay out the grease ports and drill them. You might remember my edge finder found the edge of the workshop in multiple places a couple of weeks ago, and a viewer of ours was nice enough to send us a brand new Starrett edge finder. Righto, so that's 1 down, 3 to go. Should just use a bigger cutter. Righto guys, so we've finished the machining of all 4 bar ends. One of them will be staying here for an upcoming job, so keep your eye out for that. The other 3, we're going to get back to our customer so they can put them into their stock. Thanks for watching. cockatoos. Fuck off.
Jesus.
It's fucking David Attenborough. They're fighting. They're blowing. Fuck. What was that? We do have to take them over to the milling machine now and do the... Right, so all the turning work on the bar ends is now complete. That was right. That was right.
Just,
that was right.
oh, but you stopped.
Yeah,
What happened to the end of it?
Right, ready?
Yep.
So we... Oh.
Yep.
So we... Ready?
No, you're train.
But the RPMs we're running. So I've got the... Sometimes you just need to play with it and... Well, that was bad. Nothing. Put a nice fiddly bit.
Oh my god. Dang it.
Leave that running. That
Just
right?
wait, just wait.
Just practice my blue steel.
Stop it.
Or Magnum.
Why is that still going? Oh, there we go.
Right.
Look at your mess.